Good evening, everybody. I am tickled to death to be here sitting with some friends of mine, speaking to you on this Wednesday evening about an event that is now in its 10th year anniversary. Let's widen out our cameras, Taylor, here, if you will. Look at this distinguished panel that I have up front. Mr. David Davenport, who is the CEO and the owner of Shoney's. David, always good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Chief Anderson is sitting next to him. Chief, been some challenging days for you guys in the past couple of weeks, but it always is for the police department, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I've got a great team, and they take care of business.
And we have Stephen Carrick. Am I saying that right?
Yes, sir.
Stephen Carrick on the end down here. Stephen, you're 5 years on the police force, so you're just a babe, right?
That's pretty much it.
Still
a rookie in some circumstances.
Well, I was going to say, just a rookie 4 times over.
That's right.
Yeah, very good. We'll be talking to Stephen here a little bit later on about the part that he plays, not only in the police department, but why he's here tonight and what this is all about. So, David.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to go?
Indeed.
I know you are. Well, just tell us now, and for all of the folks watching out here tonight, about the 10th annual Shoney's 5K Family Fun Run. It's going to be held down at the Coliseum, and this is, as we said a moment ago, the 10th anniversary. And of course, the reason that the hardware is here is because all the money goes to the Metro Police Department.
Right. Well, thank you. Thank you for having us here, and
Absolutely.
Thank you for putting a positive light on men and women in blue, that they work so hard for us year after year after year.
Right.
And as you mentioned, you know what happened a few days ago here in our beautiful town, Nashville.
Right.
So we're not immune to it. So
no, we're not.
Salute you, Chief, for all the great work you do, and thank you for keeping our town safe. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
And then, of course, under his leadership has been magnificent. And from our the race concern, that was really goes back to essence what we were trying to accomplish, to say thank you to police force, men and women in blue. And it is our 10 years anniversary coming up this Saturday. Registration already, I mean, you could register now, but also if you haven't, you could come at right, not far from here,
right,
LPS Stadium, Nissan Stadium. You could come out there next to old Shoney's Interstate, which is under construction now. You could register, and then at 7 a.m. the race starts at 8 a.m. And we have a lot of prizes and a lot of fun and festivity for everyone. Bring the whole family, show up.
You know what's the best part of that whole thing for me?
Yes, sir.
It's that Shoney's breakfast.
That's right.
That Shoney's breakfast that goes way, way back. All of you folks out there, if you haven't eaten at Shoney's lately, you have. I am quite sure and certain eaten at Shoney's at some time, and David is doing a great job of refurbishing and remodeling, streamlining, vitalizing Shoney's and the brand and that whole thing. But Saturday, you're right. It's all about the family 5K fun, and it is a fun run, isn't it?
Right.
And you lead the parade. At least you start off leading. Now, I don't know how long you stay in the lead, but not that long.
Proudly salute the parade.
That's right. But David, you've run every year.
Every year.
Yep.
Every year I've been running it, and I practice every year.
There you go.
5K, and it's easy to run. It's magnificent. Quite frankly, I got to tell you, Hope, with the magnificent power that the police force they've shown out there, and the media is there, thanks to you and your team. They're coming out there, and we're going through the historical downtown Nashville, which is this our town.
Sure it is.
We got to show our way of we love our town and we love our policemen and women in blue. For that alone is worth it. Set aside the magnificent breakfast at Shoney's, all you care to eat.
Oh, that's right.
Freshly prepared breakfast bar. All that aside, but it's still a lot of fun. I feel like every time I'm doing it, I feel a sense of accomplishment, sense of achievement when I'm looking at great young officer, men and women in blue, like Stephen, out there and out here, I should say. And so how could you go wrong if you do the right thing?
And I think the other impressive thing about the fun run is that, Chief, you've got not all your hardware, because you've got to keep some of it back in there in case something unexpected happens, but you've got, tell us what all you're going to have out there.
Oh, just about everything we have. Horses, helicopters, motorcycles. The bomb squad will be there with their robot. We'll have dogs there. It's just a great place to bring the kids, meet police officers, see all the equipment, and just have a great time and a great breakfast.
Yeah, well, as you say, I think one of the benefits of that is that those runners, they bring family members and they bring friends out, And they, it's not unaccustomed that people are a bit afraid, Stephen, maybe to approach you guys. You find that to be true when you're out working every day?
Occasionally, I can see that, but once you build a good rapport with some of the citizens, and you just go out and show them that you're a normal human being and not a robot, and you're just going out. We have a job to do, and we like to interact with the community.
Sure. And that's what I see when the officers are there and the people come up and the kids kind of stand off a little bit and the officers make a gesture, and all of a sudden we've got a relationship started, we've got conversation going on, and we have admiration between the officer and whoever that other person is, and they're saying to themselves, you're right, these are just normal people. I kind of like these men and women in blue. So that's one of the priorities I know that you guys want to get across there. Now let's talk about this other thing, David. And Chief and Stephen, this is why you're here. The money that goes from this is for education. You want the Chief to talk about it, or you want to talk about it? Both of you.
Chief is more eloquent than I am with authority.
You certainly had a lot of practice in front of a lot of people here lately. We can say that.
So every penny of the money raised, David pays all the expenses, all the breakfast, everything else.
Right.
Every penny goes into a scholarship fund. And we've raised about $90,000.
That was a few years ago. Chief, forgive me, I would dare to ever correct you, but we have raised in excess of $200,000, as I see it here, has been raised, and we are not finished yet.
You're exactly right.
He meant to say that.
What I should have said is we have spent about $90,000 of
That's
that.
correct.
That's right.
And for 70 officers to continue their education.
Yeah.
Right.
And what I should say, and David doesn't like me saying this because he's a very modest guy,
Thank you, sir.
all the money that comes in, David totals it up, then he reaches in his pocket and matches it.
Which pocket is that you reach into?
My left pocket.
That's the pocket I want to see what's going on over there. Stephen, give us your background. Just take us from zero to where you are now.
I grew up in Clearwater, Florida. I went to high school there. I went to my undergraduate at University of Central Florida in Orlando.
Pretty good school.
It's a great school. We had a great football season, so
I know you
have to
did.
throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then once I graduated, I immediately applied for Metro Nashville Police Department. I knew exactly where I wanted to be. I knew Nashville was the city I wanted to be in.
Now wait, why did you know Nashville? Why? You could have picked any city. Why Nashville?
Correct. I actually took a vacation here when I was a kid, and I just fell in love with the city, and I was...
Country music fan?
Actually, at the time, I was not.
Oh,
so
okay.
That developed in time, but I fell in love with the city, and I saw the growth opportunity, and so when it came time for me to look around at different agencies, I immediately went to Nashville.
Now, something pretty special is happening for you on Saturday morning. Not the 5K run, but although that'll be special too, but you won't be there, so tell us what that's all about.
I will be graduating. I will be going to my graduation ceremony at Bethel University, where I'll be graduating with my master's degree in criminal justice.
Wow. So, David, see how you trace that money of yours from the left pocket over there?
That's right.
It goes all the way to gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen like Stephen, who will be graduating on Saturday morning, and that'll be a great day for you. You married with a family?
I'm married, no kids, but I'm married, yes.
All right, very good, very good. Well, Stephen, congratulations for all of the hard work and what you've done. And
Thank you.
I asked him during the break a moment ago, I said, Stephen, do you want this guy's job? Or not his, well, yeah, you might, but do you aspire to being a chief, or what are your goals now?
I would like to work my way up and to get into an administrative position down the road and use my education to equip myself to be the best person I can be in that position.
So do you plan on staying in law enforcement? Is that what you pursue?
I absolutely love law enforcement. I love everything I do, and I can't see myself doing anything else.
Okay, well.
Magnificent.
Pretty good spokesman right there, Chief.
He is, and one thing we should mention, he now works in our youth services section.
Okay.
So he is working with kids every day, and you know how important that is.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. So by working with kids, you either know you want some or you don't you?
I guess you can say that.
Sure, you'll have some kids one of these
I
days.
hope
You
so.
absolutely will. Well, we're tickled to death that you have been able to be a part of this, because this is exactly what happens on Saturday morning when you sign up out there to say I'm going to run, and it's $30, right?
That's right.
Then this is what you're doing. Stephen thanks you, and the Metro Police Department thanks you, and we thank you for your participation.
And I'll thank you for it. Just show up.
Yeah, there you
I'll
go.
thank 'em.
Well, there you go. And this, as we say, is our tent, 7 a.m. You need to be there to register. 8 o'clock we fire the gun, and you guys head off. Coming up in a few minutes, Coach Boots Donnelly, former MTSU head football coach, athletic director, is going to join us because he has a part kind of to play.
That's right.
In the 5K run. And if you really want to see an awful funny sight, come out and watch Boots try to run. I don't know that that's going to happen.
Honorable Hope.
Honorable
Hope. I got to stop you. He's a Hall of Famer coach.
Well, but
he could do anything.
Oh, he can?
I'm telling you, I've seen him in action.
All right. Okay, well, if you say he can, then he can. Yeah, exactly. All right, we are going to take a break. And Stephen, anything you'd like to add? But we're gonna kick you out. No,
I just want to say thank you to Shoney's, and thank you for all y'all do for our department.
Of course, it's honored. This is respectfully, I must tell you, Stephen, this is a joy of achievement that I'm enjoying listening to you, getting your master's degrees, and then that is magnificent, man.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's all the best to you, officer. I salute you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good luck with everything, man, and then aim the highest you can.
Absolutely.
Someday have this man's job. He's the best man in this country.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Stephen. All right, Stephen's going to leave us. Coach Donnelly is going to join us. I'll be back with David and with the Chief and Coach Boots Donnelly right after this, and then I'll tell you about what we're going to be doing in the second half hour coming up right after this.
Perfect.